In this video, we will learn how to search, paginate, and sort using Laravel. Before we start building the app, I would like to remind you that this video can be combined with other videos. So, if you want to use Laravel with Angular, React, Next.js, Vue, Next.js, or Svelte, I provided some links in the description of this video. Also, if you want to use another database like MySQL or MongoDB, I also provided links for those in the description also. If you don't want to combine them, don't worry, the videos are independent of each other, so you can watch this tutorial without needing to combine them. Now let's start building the app, but before also make sure to check scalablescripts.com. Now let's start creating the app. Click documentation and we will install via Composer. So let's copy this command, open our terminal and run the command. So I will change also the name of the project. I will call it Laravel Search. Now let's wait till it's completed. Now everything is installed. Open the project with our IDE. I'm using PHP Storm, and in the terminal run the command php artisan serve. And now everything will run on port 8000. So I'll copy this or open it directly, and this is the app that we just built. Now let's make some changes. First, we need to connect with the database. I will connect with MySQL, and I will open this. The user is root in my machine, the password is root, and the database that we want to use is Laravel Search. Test the connection, it is successful, and we are connected with an empty database right now. So let's connect also with Laravel. So we have DB host and the DB port are correct. The DB database is Laravel Search. The DB username is root and the DB password is root. You can change these credentials depending on your MySQL database. So this connection is correct. Now let's create the tables that we want. Go to database migrations, and we have some migrations here which we won't use any of them. I will remove all of them. I will remove the user factory also, and also I will remove the user model. We won't have a user model in this app. So let's create our first model and migration. So first, PHP artisan make migration, create products table. So we created the migration, and this is the table that we just created. Now let's add the fields that we want. We need the ID, we need to add a string column of title. We will add a description, but this will be text, so it will be longer. We need to add another string column for the image, and the last one is a decimal column for the price. So this is the table that we want to create. To add this table to the database, we have to run the migration, so PHP artisan migrate. And as we can see, the migration is run successfully, and if we open the database, we'll see two tables, and this is a table that we just created. Now let's populate this table with data. So first we have to create a factory. We remove the user factory here, so PHP artisan make factory product factory. To run the factory, I forgot first, we have to create also a model. So we have to make a model product. So the model is located here and the factory is located here. This factory will use this product model. Also, I made a mistake in the name here, so I will remove the factory and create it again. So I made a spelling mistake. This is product factory. And now it's created, and this time we also have the model, and it will automatically know that we want this product model here. So everything is correct. Now let's set the fields. So the first one is a title. We want to set it with the Faker library. This will be a text with 30 characters. Let's set the description. This Faker, this will be also a text, but this time I won't set anything because by default is 200 characters. So that is what I want for the description. So let's add the image, which is this Faker image URL. And the last one is the price, which is this Faker number between 10 and 100. And this is our factory. Now let's add the seeder, or actually we can call directly here the product factory. So in the database seeder here, add product factory, not product factory actually. So this was a way to do it in the previous versions of Laravel. Now it is product factory. We want to create 50 products and we want to create them. That's it. So let's create our 50 products. So PHP artisan db seed. And the seeding has completed. If we open the database right now, we can see that we have 50 products here. So 50. Now we have everything. What is left is to create the APIs. So first let's create the product controller. Make controller product controller. We created the product controller. Let's go there. And here we need to add two methods. The first one, the simplest one, is the frontend. So public function frontend. And in this method, we want to return all the products. So to get all the products, we use product all. And that's it. So let's add this route also to the routes API. And let's add the route a get request products / frontend. And this, let's put an array here. The first parameter is the product controller itself, that class. So I will remove this namespace and I will import it directly here on top. So we need to use this namespace to the product controller. We have product controller class here, and the second parameter is the method of that class, which is the frontend method. So with this we can have an endpoint to get all the products. So to call it, we can call it here directly, but I will use Postman. So the endpoint is http localhost port 8000 /API /products /frontend. And as we can see, we return all the products here, all 50 of them. So we have 50 products, and these products will be filtered in the front end. So we don't do anything to this endpoint right now. So our logic will apply to the backend. So public function backend. Here we want to return also the products, but we want to apply some filters with this. So I'll pass the request as a parameter here. And the first filter that we want to do is the search filter. So what I will do right now is create a query which is equal to product query. So these filters will create some conditions in the MySQL query. So the first one is a search condition. So I will make an if condition here, and we will get a variable s, which is equal to request input s. So we will send this s variable as a condition. So it will be like this: question mark search equals to our search. And what do we want to do with this is we want to find all the products that have the title or description similar to this search. So we will call a query here, query where I will not use where, but I will use where row. So in the where row we can use our own conditions as we want, and here I will use double quotes here, title, like, and the condition is inside the like we will put the search. So with two percentage signs. Inside the percentage signs I'll put double quotes again, and I will add this search. So that's it. So what does this mean? So we are finding all the products that the title, likes means contains this search variable that we have, and these question marks means that we can put any characters in front of the variable and any characters after the variable. Now we need to add also the same thing for the description. So I will add here, I will not add again where row, but I will add or where row, because when we search we want this character to be in the title or in the description, not end in the description. If I put it like this, it means it is an end condition, and the search has to be in both of them. We want to be at least in one of them. So description, I will copy this, paste it here, and we have the description. In the end, for the moment, I will return query get. So this is our condition for the search, and let's add it to the API. I will duplicate this, and this will be products backend, and the method is backend. So we added everything. Now let's call the backend, and we got as before all the products here, but this time we can apply a search. So question mark s is equal to I can put the search term here, or in the params Postman helps me, so I can put it here. So I will search with this word. I will copy it and paste it here and send the request. So as we can see, the ID is 1, then the ID is 10, so we filtered the items. We have only 3 items that have this word. How about this other word? We do have also 4 items, but this item with ID 1 has the title that contains this harm word. What happens if I change H to lowercase? So this works as well. So this is our search. Now let's add the next condition, which is the sorting part. So we will send another variable right now, which is the sorting, and I will also wrap this with an if condition. If the sort is set is equal to request input sort. And what we want to do with this sort is we want to order by the description. Not the description, sorry, by the price. So the query has another option here, which is query sort order by, the price, and the order is this sort itself. So I'll put the sort here, and that's it. So now let's use the sort. So instead of S here, I'll put sort, and the values are ascending and descending. So if I put ascending, we can see the first item has a price of 10, the second 12, then it increases. So they are sorted ascending. If I put descending here, we can see the first item is 99, 98, etc. So this is a sort. Also, we can combine the search and the sort together. So if I put here an S, so we want to sort descending all the products that have this word here. I'll put it here, and as we can see, we got less items, and the first one is 95, 88, 69, etc. So this is how the two first filtering are applied, and the last one is the pagination. So we want to return items paginated, and we need a variable here which is per page. I want to return 9 items per page. So how do we paginate these products here? So first we have to get the page from the request. So the page is equal to request input page, and the default value will be 1. So if the page is not set, the default value will be considered 1. And now let's get the result here, which is equal to query offset. So in the pagination we have to define where do we start. So that is defined by the page and the per page. So the offset is page -1 times the per page. So if we are at the page 1, it means that we are starting from the offset 0, so from the beginning. So that's it. If we are at page number 2, it means that we are starting with the offset 9. So we return the next 9 items. So that is how pagination works. Also, we need to add the limit here, which is per page. So we have to start from page minus 1 times per page, and there will be only 9 items. In the end, we have to get them, and I want to return the response differently. Data here will be the result that we got. And let's send the request again, and we got the data here. So let's remove these filters, and if we get all the items, we will get the first 9 items. We are not getting more items. So we need some meta information also to know which page we are at and how many pages are left. So we need to create another variable here, which is the total. And the total is another query on its own. So we have to call here query count. So to find the total, we have to make another query before we paginate, because the count, if we move the total here, it will be 9, because we are limiting to per page. If we do it here, then we'll count all the products after we filter with these 2 filters. And let's add here the total, which is this total. The second variable that we want to add is the page, so let's add the page here. And the last one is the last page. We have to know the last page. So the last page should be the total divided by per page, but this division is not always an integer, so we have to call a function ceil of this division. So we want to get the integer in the ceil. So that's it. Let's send the request again, and as you can see, we have the total, page is 1, and the last page is 6. If we set the page is 2, then we start with ID 10, and we are filtering the next items. We can also add all of the 3 filters here. So let's send the request, and we don't have any items on page 1, but if I on page 2, sorry, but on page 1 we do have. So if I change the search to just these words, we have more items, and we can go to the page number 2. So the last page is 4 in this case, because we are filtering with this search. So this is how search, sorting and pagination happens in the backend using MySQL. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please also share it and subscribe. Thank you.